Well,
What route?
we are at the point that we need to get started so we can get through this in an hour and give plenty of time for the participants to ask questions if they have any. This was structured in such a way as to be an informational session for people who may not have already registered for the ride, to give them information, and for those who may have already registered to ask any questions of our experts here. For those who don't know me, I'm Dan Stockwell. I'm the DALMAC director. And joining us also is Pat Harrington, volunteer and crew coordinator. Wave your hand or your hat, Patrick. And we have Dave Mansfield, who looks after all things related to maps and ride with GPS and helps us determine the routes that we're going to ride. So I'll jump right in and start in some information. And again, I hope this is helpful. Some people this may be repeats, but we never know who's going to be here and what they don't know or don't know. So first off, DALMAC, what is it? Well, it's this great bike ride that was started in 1971 with the objective of demonstrating that Michigan bicyclists can share the road and ride from Lansing to Mackinac. And it was started by Dick Allen, now passed away, but a good friend. And he wanted to encourage the use of bicycles and riding in Michigan. And this ride has been going on for 52 years, which I think is a pretty remarkable run for an all volunteer run event. We have well over 100 volunteers that help us every year to get this ride on the way. And I think that's pretty remarkable that we are able to do that. And it is one of the most cost-effective rides, I think, for riders. So what do we provide on the tour? We provide for all routes, and we have 6 routes, which we'll talk about briefly. Overnight camping, you can read them here. Dinner, breakfast, SAG support teams on every route, and that's a critical job, something that I've done and enjoyed, as well as having ridden. And of course, beautiful Michigan, the amazing scenery, the roads, the places to visit, the trails that we use are amazing, and all the points along the way that I think a lot of DALMAC people just look forward to every single year in terms of the great ice cream spots, the great beer spots, and so on. We do offer fee-based services that are optional. We have a bus that will return you from Mackinac City to your starting point for $90 per rider. And you can camp at Michigan State University near the pavilions for $25 the night before the start of your route. And
Dan,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt, but the bus transportation, I can't see your, but also your bike is returned.
yes,
So,
your bike. Yeah, and you can't see my slide, but it also says transportation of your bike.
okay, great. Sorry.
We also support a camping service called Padres Cycle In. The fees for that vary, but that is something I communicated with those folks today, and they indicated they have only about 20 spots left for campers on the DALMAC to take advantage of that service. It's a terrific service. I've used it for years, and it allows you to not stuff wet tents into a bag every morning and then have to set the thing up at night. They do all that for you. And they're great folks, very nice people. So a quick review of the routes that we have for 2023, starting on August 30th at the MSU Pavilion. Wednesday, we go to Vestaburg. Thursday to Northern Michigan Christian School in McBain. And if you're seeing my screen, you see the mileages that are listed there. Kalkaska Community Center. We have, I got some more people coming in here. Let me pause for a moment while they join. Okay, welcome to those who just joined. And if you could unmute just for a second and just say whether or not this is your first DALMAC and whether you're registered or not. Can you do that for me just real quick?
I'm sorry?
So go ahead and indicate whether or not you have signed up for DALMAC and whether or not this is your first DALMAC.
Say their names, Dan, so they know which order to go.
Okay, let's do MJ.
First DALMAC, yes, I signed up.
Okay, great.
Awesome.
Greg Cheeseman.
Never done a DALMAC, just kind of curious on the format. I used to work on the boat lines that hauled the bikes over for Macklin City to the island when they used to do that.
Okay,
Oh, awesome.
great. How about David?
First time, already have signed up, ready to go.
Great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how about Dale?
He's muted.
He's muted. I just asked him to unmute, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
Hey, Dale.
I've done about 10 DALMACs.
Great. Are you
Awesome.
signed up for this year? Awesome.
Yeah, my wife and I, we ride a tandem.
Oh, good for you.
excellent. All right, let's see. Who else do we have here? Paul Williams.
He's muted. Oh, there he
Hello.
goes.
Yeah,
Hi,
I've
Paul.
done it 6 times. Not sure I'm going to be able to this year.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Let's see. Who am I missing here? Melaine?
Yep, this will be my 8th DALMAC this year. I'm already signed up.
Okay,
Good
super
deal.
good. Thank you very much for signing up.
Yeah.
All right, I'll resume where I was, just making a brief description of the routes and what's involved. And you can see the mileages. I hope you're all seeing the screen that I'm sharing with the PowerPoint presentation. So basically, I'll summarize. Wednesday, we go to Vestaburg. We start in East Lansing at the Michigan State University Pavilion. We go to Vestaburg, then to McBain, on to Kalkaska. And Kalkaska is a new location for us this year. We're there, we think, a number of years ago, but we're very excited about Kalkaska. It is a new venue for us. It has, we're going to be at the Coliseum, which is a public events facility. And we're going to have some sort of a cookout, we think, with maybe the Kiwanis and the citizens of Kalkaska participating. We go on to Petoskey High School, and then we end at, of course, Mackinac City High School at the end of the ride, as all of the routes do end in Mackinac City. The registration fee is $430. We also have a 5-day East, and this is the ride that I'm going to be doing this year. And it is, you get the DALMAC experience with a little bit less effort. It's shorter mileages each day, and the terrain is not as challenging, but you still have to work toward the endurance you need to complete this route. We go to Alma, Gladwin, Grayling, Inland Lakes High School and Indian River, and on to Mackinac City, and the fee for that is also $430. The 4-day West, this is for kind of hardcore folks. I think, anyway. This is the availability of Century options each day. You can see the mileages there. So this one starts on Thursday, not Wednesday. And you, again, goes to Vestaburg, Lake City, East Jordan, and Mackinac City. East Jordan High School is another venue that we have not used frequently, that we are there this year for this ride. Fee is $345 for that ride. 3-day East begins September 1st, starting in Gladwin. And this is a really good experience for people who may not have all the time in the world to train or to take time off for the full 5 or 4-day experience. This is a really good one. It's less expensive, $260. And we again visit Indian River and end in Mackinac City. The other one is the 2-day East and 2-day Trail. The 2-day Trail is very popular this year. We're up to 70 riders who have signed on to do the trail ride, and another, I think, 30 or so on the 2-day East, which you'll see the 2 maps here. The pink one is on the road. This is the road miles. And this one is the trail. The orange is the trail. And again, a very reasonable registration fee of $180. So For detailed information and to register for the rides, go to dalmac.org and you'll see a registration button there. You can get more details about the routes and the services provided. And I hope that you'll go. If you've not visited the site, you probably have if you're registered. But go back and visit. We've added some things to the site. And this webinar is one of the things we've added to the site. And we also have the ability for you to sign up to receive mailings from DALMAC. So I've got some time. We did not want to talk a whole long time. We wanted to make space for you guys to ask questions. And we've got some experts here to answer your questions. And open up your mic and let us know what you're thinking.
DALMAC can be pretty intimidating for the first timers. And
Yes.
I think probably Pat, number 7, we call him, the volunteer coordinator, is probably the most experienced DALMAC rider with us. I've done DALMAC since 1993, rode a tandem with my wife for the vast majority of those. Started out on the 4-day and then switched to the 5-day later. And I'm not riding it with my wife anymore on the tandem. It's we gotten a little too mature, I guess, to set up tents every day. And so nonetheless, DALMAC is such a great experience. The people you meet and the services that are provided for this amount of money is unbelievable in my mind. So, but please ask. I remember asking tons of questions to people that were experienced and had done DALMAC a number of times. I know Dave Mansfield has done DALMAC a number of times as well, maybe as many times as others. And sorry, I missed you, Dave, with that. But I happen to be the president of TCBA, which is the club that puts this on. And I also volunteer for DALMAC. I arrange the porta potties at all the spots that DALMAC provides porta potties. So anyway.
I've done 15 DALMACs.
Yeah.
Not all of them successful. So I can relate to, trying to figure out how to prepare and the intimidation factor of it.
Yeah.
But it's a terrific ride. And don't be shy, unmute and ask a question.
If I don't know where some of the first timers that are that are registered or are considering DALMAC, but I would encourage you to try to get club rides and riding with other people. It's so helpful to ride with other folks. You learn so much about the on-the-road repairs, what to do when this or that happens. Yeah, and you may not have a club that offers rides to train, but training with other people certainly helps the miles go. And if you're on DALMAC on the 4-day or the 5-day, you'll be riding with other people most of the day, at least at the start of the first day, and then go from there. But yeah, it's important to learn how to be in a group, because not everybody is group riders.
So you'll notice on the screen, you'll see the future webinar topics, and what Pat's talking about is the topic for the May 23rd. We're going to have some specific advice about how to train and what to do to be ready for the DALMAC. That'll be on May 23rd, and we'll have some experts on board to help with that. On June 20th, we're going to have another webinar on gearing up for DALMAC, what you should be doing to your bike and yourself before midsummer, before the ride. so that you're trained up and ready to go and your equipment is ready to go. We'll have some advice about the kind of equipment that you should have. And packing for DALMAC, we're going to do that on July 27th so that you can have an idea of what to bring. And we're also going to have Dave Mansfield go through and do a tutorial on how to use Ride with GPS. We have taken up this technology to allow our riders to use their GPS and their phone to navigate on the tour. We still print map booklets. We're not going to do away with our map booklets, but we like to use this technology. I've used it a lot, and it's really, really good. I enjoy riding with it. So those are the topics for the future webinars. And at this point, please ask your questions. Somebody's got to have a question. Don't be shy.
I have a question.
Okay, Paul.
Yeah, this year my biking buddy can't make it. So can you park at the equestrian center? Can you leave your car there?
Yes, at the pavilion.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. The parking is provided there for you, and your
good.
car will be waiting for you when you arrive back on the bus, if you decide to come back on the bus. And your bicycle will be on one of our trucks. And yes, you are free to park there.
Okay, good.
And parking is free.
It's free. Yeah, I mentioned
Okay,
it's free.
even better yet.
Yeah.
Other question, not a big deal. I always loved going to the high school at Boyne City. How come you changed this year?
Well, Boyne City, we didn't change. Boyne City changed.
Yeah.
They made a decision that they were not able to host us in the manner that they would like, and they backed out of hosting us at Boyne City, and we were sad about that because it was a nice facility. But we substituted Kalkaska for Boyne City. Or no, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
East Jordan. We
East Jordan.
substituted East Jordan for
Okay.
Boyne City.
How does that school compare with Boyne as far as age?
I'm not sure. I haven't visited the school, but they have all the facilities that we need. We can provide more information about that. I believe that school is well equipped to handle us. Our team of 2 guys that do all the arrangements along the route going north have inspected these schools, and we're assured that they're all suitable for our needs.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Great.
You're welcome.
Great questions. Great questions.
So other questions?
Yeah, I was wondering if that's the same for Elk Rapids as well.
Yes, Elk Rapids is being replaced by Kalkaska. Elk Rapids School, last year we had some difficulties as a result of a lot of construction, and that construction is ongoing at that school, and it had become not entirely suitable for our riders. So we sought another location, and that is then Kalkaska.
Okay,
Question.
thank you for
Thank you.
answering that.
Sure.
Good question.
Other questions? Hey, we didn't answer everything here. You've got to have some questions out there.
Number 7.
Harrington?
Thank you. Well, we have a minute. I'd like to remind folks that in camp at 7 o'clock each night, we do have a voluntary rider meeting. And this will give you updates on any changes of what might have happened on the upcoming day, give you an understanding if the routes have changed, if the road commission has created a hole, give you an outline of perhaps where charging systems are if you happen to have an e-bike. I can also give a little info on the main communication items that we will have on the tour are going to be posted at the food lines as you're going into the cafeterias and on the baggage trucks when you're loading your luggage. And this signage is important, especially if you're riding the bus home. And it is important for updates on the next day's activities. We also encourage you to review the printed map book. It will have information on who perhaps is the sponsor of a rest stop, give a little more elaboration than what you can pull on the electronic, although, boy, the electronic stuff sure is coming along well.
Yes, indeed. And I would also point out that this year, we're implementing a text messaging system where you will receive, and we're not gonna bombard you with text messages, but if there's any critical information while you are riding from the start point to the end, you will receive a text message that would tell you of anything imminent that you need to be aware of on the ride. So that's a first time. Other tours have done this, and I've experienced it's very good, and we will be doing that for 23. So I think that's a big improvement and will help you in addition to the information that is dispensed at dinner and the signage that you'll find in camp directing people to things. The text messaging will supplement that as well. Other items?
I have a question about the GPS system that you're using.
Yes.
Is that going to follow with an app that actually lists the route, or how does your GPS system work following the route? The guide you on the route, I guess.
Dave Mansfield?
We're using Ride with GPS, and we're using what they call an experience, which will not only have all the routes, but we can put other information in there. And there'll be like a page for each day. There'll be pages with information, and you can have it on your phone. You don't need a Ride with GPS account. And it will give you turn-by-turn voice navigation. It'll show you the map right on your screen. If you do use a GPS, like Garmin or other brand, you can download the files to your GPS. So I think it's an excellent system.
Yeah, I use it. I have a Wahoo GPS on my bike, and the Ride with GPS files are downloaded to that device, and it alerts me with visual and audio cues when the turns are coming up. Very effective. Got some more people joining right now. We just had Chris join, and welcome, Chris. Alpha has somebody labeled as iPhone 3. Not sure who that is, but welcome. And we are about halfway through the presentation. If you have some questions about DALMAC and signing up for DALMAC, speak up. We're in the question and answer phase. So Chris and iPhone 3, please speak up.
David, I don't remember, and I apologize. Is this your first DALMAC?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Good.
And are you on a tandem, did you say? Somebody's
No.
right. Okay.
No.
On the roads, and which route are you considering? Or have you already signed up?
We signed up for the 5-day west.
Okay. That's one of the prettier routes in my mind. And you will find on the road as well, if you don't use technology, road markings with the chevron with a D on it. But you do have to have some kind of idea of where you're going if you use just the road markings. So yeah, it's good to have the GPS ones and or the map. And but there are so many people on the route that it's hard to get lost if you're paying attention and can have a visual on people ahead of you.
Oh, sure.
Because There's
It's
500 folks on that route. So depending on your speed, if you're really fast, you may be way out front, and you may be the one folks are following. So it's not unusual if somebody makes a wrong turn that several people will make that same wrong turn. So
I have done that. I accidentally ended up on I-75 in Mackinac City by missing a turn on 31. And
Oh, yes.
I was on the on-ramp to I-75 and riding with the truckers.
right, almost right into Mackinac City, but
And I rode it right into Mackinac City, got off at the first exit, and I had 4 people following me. So don't,
yeah, that happens.
So
that happens.
basically 3 ways of navigation: the road markings, the GPS, and the maps.
Yep.
And David, since you're riding the 5 West, I'll be on the 5 West, driving one of the baggage trucks. So if you have any questions at all, either before or during the ride, just look me up at the baggage truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have route coordinators on every route, and those route coordinators are responsible for the care and feeding of our riders during the ride. We're going to cover all of that in a future seminar, a little more detailed, but those folks make sure the camp is ready and the food's ready, and places to camp have been identified. So they're critical people in the process. And as I said, we have many, many volunteers taking all these kinds of roles to help out our riders. So Chris and whoever iPhone 3 is, you just joined. Do you have a question?
Welcome, guys and girls.
Thank you very much for being here.
I have one more question.
Go ahead,
Sure.
Paul.
Yeah, I still got to check out a few more things before I sign up. But how is the 4 West filling up so far?
We have a lot of
time?
space on the 4 West.
Okay, good.
You won't have any trouble getting a spot on 4 West. So sign up and get that going.
Okay. And just a quick testimonial for the first time riders. It is a great experience. I've done it 6 times and loved it every time. And I'm hoping I can do it again this year. We'll see.
Great. Thanks, Paul. That's good to hear. And I hope you can do it.
Yeah.
The 4 West, we have space. We have about another 25 spots in the 5 West, and we've got a number of spots open on the 4 West. So there's plenty of opportunity to find a route.
I do have one question if I can
Sure.
ask.
Go ahead.
Please.
So, is it possible I would be the rider, but can my husband, we have a little teardrop camper. It is literally a 12-foot camper.
Mhm.
Can he come set up and then I can stay with him?
The short answer is yes. There is limited space for RV type campers at each of the high schools. We, if that works for you, that's fine. Be aware that if the high school determines that there are too many, you may be asked to move to a different location. We do have a number of people who bring their recreational vehicles and trailers to support the riders, and we would help you with that. There are no hookups, services, water, or sewer connections at all at any of the high schools, so you're on your own.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We boondock camp or dry camp for months on end.
Okay.
So that is not an issue at all.
Pat Harrington, you had a comment?
Yes, we call this, and you'll see it in our literature and our website, private SAG support. And I have 3 points. You are asked not to drive that vehicle on the bike route. And we do provide alternative maps, but we do not want the congestion out there.
That's fine. If he has an alternative route, that's fine. He'll do anything you ask him to do.
There is a fee for being a private SAG. And
Yes, there are 2 fees. You can buy the full rider ticket with all meals, or you can pay a nominal fee for the maps and eat on your own and have access to the school only after the riders are done with the showers.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't be a problem for him at all.
Exactly. Okay.
That's not a problem at all. The last thing is we have a little dog, a little little Jack Russell. Can he also, I mean, he can just ride along with Ted, right?
We do
Without-
have a dog policy. I would strongly recommend you read the policy. If you go to our website, dalmac.org, there is a link there to read the pet policy. We do not allow pets on the ride. That is something
No,
that,
no, no, he wouldn't be with me. He would be with Ted, my husband.
And,
again, if we are, if you're camping in the school grounds area,
Hmm.
the pets are not going to be allowed in the school grounds.
Oh, okay. Okay. I will
Yeah.
let him know that then.
yeah.
It's fair notice that that's the rule that we have developed. And again, you can read the full pet policy by looking at the dalmac.org website.
Okay. Okay.
I see
Yeah,
another-
like I said, those are the little couple of little questions that I had. So
Good, great.
Good question.
That's a good questions. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Somebody just joined as Zoom user. And
Welcome.
welcome to the webinar. And if you have any questions, please unmute and ask them. Apparently not. Anyone else have any questions? iPhone 3, you appear to be talking, but you're muted.
There we
you
go.
go.
No, I think that was me,
Okay.
that I asked about. I just realized that I was on mute to start with, and then I
Okay.
put myself back on mute.
All right. Thank you very much. No problem.
Yep.
That's the way it works on Zoom.
Yep.
So other Zoom user, other questions that you have?
One more question.
Sure.
There's a chance I may have a ride back. So how late can you sign up for the bus to return? Or is that something you need to do right away when you sign up for the ride?
We encourage you to sign up when you register for the ride. There are limited bus tickets available at Mackinac City, but I wouldn't count on it.
That's the problem.
That's the problem right there.
Yeah.
We need to have a predicted number of people to fill our buses, and that dictates how many trucks we will use to return bikes. Because the bikes don't go on the buses, the people and the luggage go in the bus, and the bikes go in our trucks and return to your starting point. So I would encourage you to arrange that bus transportation in advance. If you have a private, and many times I've placed a car up there, and that's perfectly fine as well. You can place a car in Mackinac City and ride to the car and then load your bike and bags and take off at your pace.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
Other questions?
We are always looking for volunteers. We are always looking for crew. We have some committee positions open if you'd like to get heavily involved. And that communication is to send a message to volunteer@dalmac.org.
There's also a link on our website to volunteer. If you go to the website dalmac.org, you can very easily set up a volunteer opportunity or a volunteering position. And Pat would be very happy to have volunteers.
It's
There
the
is-
only way this organization runs is by volunteers.
100% volunteer operated. We have, and volunteers also get the advantage of getting an allowance for some DALMAC clothing like this shirt that I'm wearing here, and other merchandise depending on your level of involvement in the volunteering. So if you're interested in doing that, please let us know. Other questions that you might have? All right, well, we will end early, it looks like. We appreciate you dialing in and joining us for this webinar. And again, on your screen, you can see the future webinars and the topics that we'll be covering. And there will be opportunity for question and answer at each one of those webinars. And again, this has been recorded, and we will put the recording on the dalmac.org website if you would like to review the recording after this meeting ends. And I will one more call for questions, and then we're going to end. So going once, going twice. No takers. All right. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening. We appreciate it. And please join us at a future webinar. If you have other questions, we'd be glad to do that. Tell your friends that these webinars are occurring. We will be sending out email blasts that announce these webinars and give you an opportunity to sign up. So thanks very much for joining us, and you all have a wonderful evening, and let's get out and hit the road and ride our bikes. Thanks a lot. Goodbye.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.